At 12, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Canelo. Man, yeah, we still alive. There we go. We got.
Terence Crawford is going all out in his efforts to get Canelo Alvarez to face him in the ring for a long-anticipated super fight between the two megastars. While Canelo Alvarez's sheer strength and knockout power might intimidate many fighters, it's not the case for Terence Crawford. Speaking with TMZ Sports, he confidently declared he's fully convinced he'd come out victorious against the Mexican boxing icon if they were ever to clash.
Fall fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that.
Right now, however, it's all up in the air, because despite Crawford's clear interest in making the fight happen, Canelo hasn't shown the same enthusiasm. Crawford was actually present during Canelo Alvarez's latest win, where Canelo refused to comment when asked directly about a potential showdown with Bud. Nevertheless, when a respected media outlet caught up with Crawford, the 36-year-old fighter affirmed that he's still determined to trade blows with Canelo inside the ring.
Yeah, I can't rap, that's what I'm saying, so I gotta stick to what I know. I beat people up.
Oh, God.
I beat people up.
I view it as a legacy fight, Crawford explained. To me, it's the biggest fight in boxing today. If this bout does eventually materialize, Crawford is aware it won't come easy. He acknowledged the challenges Canelo's size and strength would present, but insisted, "I've been fighting bigger opponents my whole career," and confidently guaranteed he would win. "Of course I'll beat him," the 41-0 fighter stated. "There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that I can defeat anyone I share the ring with."
Start rapping, man, and then everybody gonna be saying, man, I'm being Roy Jones Jr. I'm coming out like Roy.
Crawford hasn't pinned down a specific time or location for the fight, he just knows it's something the fans are craving and believes Alvarez should feel the same. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, before his last match, Alvarez was eyeing a potential rematch with Dimitri Bivol in May. However, that rematch depended on whether Bivol could beat Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed light heavyweight title. Now that both Russian fighters are set to square off again next month, Canelo could still be interested in taking on the man who handed him a rare career defeat.
To come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know.
After Saturday's event, Crawford seemed to suggest on X that he's now fully targeting Canelo. Turki Al-Sheikh, the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, told Coppinger back in August that he's actively working with Crawford to persuade Alvarez to agree to the fight. "I will offer Canelo what I consider a fair deal," Al-Sheikh said. "If he accepts, he will negotiate directly with me, no middlemen involved. I guaranteed Crawford a major bout. I want Canelo for him, and he wants Canelo too. But if Canelo demands something crazy financially, I'll still guarantee Crawford any fight he desires." Crawford recently extended his undefeated record to 41-0 by defeating the Uzbekistani opponent in his super welterweight championship bout to capture the WBA super welterweight title.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'll be a well-fought.
Since his last loss in the light heavyweight division to a highly skilled Russian, Alvarez has rebounded with 5 consecutive wins. Yet critics argue that he's been cherry-picking easier opponents to build up his record. At 34 years old, he holds a professional record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws across 66 total fights. Despite this, many within the boxing world believe Crawford simply isn't a realistic matchup due to the weight difference. But one person who strongly disagrees is former 2-division world champion turned boxing analyst Tim Bradley, who recently shared on his YouTube channel that after analyzing both fighters, he now envisions a dominant win for Crawford.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez.
At 3 a.m., I got this feeling I had to study both Canelo and Crawford, Bradley revealed. Crawford is about to dismantle Canelo Alvarez. I'm telling you now, he's going to break him down. A victory for Crawford would mark a monumental milestone, adding to his exceptional resume, which already includes becoming the undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight.
Right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, He is. Number 2, Devin Haney.
This week, Tim Bradley didn't pull any punches. Taking to his YouTube channel, the former champ called out Canelo Alvarez directly, urging the reigning unified super middleweight king to stop ducking and finally give Terence Crawford the fight he's been chasing. Bradley's message was crystal clear: the fans are demanding it, and Crawford has earned it. But let's be honest, does this matchup even add up? According to Bradley, Canelo has a responsibility to the fans to make this happen. "You already avoided the Benavidez fight," Bradley said. "Now make the fight with Crawford, that's the fight everyone wants." He also rejected the narrative that Canelo's size and strength would be too much for Crawford, reminding everyone that Canelo himself began his career at 147 pounds and is the same height as Crawford.
You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there.
"You're walking around Mexico like you don't care what anyone thinks about you ducking that fight," Bradley continued. "Make the fight with Crawford, it's the one the world wants to see you take. It'll give Crawford the chance to prove his greatness to you and to the world." Bradley's take might be bold, but he isn't wrong. This fight would cause a massive stir in the sport. Canelo, with a record of February 2nd, 62, is the biggest name in boxing, while Crawford, still undefeated at 41-0, has long been praised as one of the sport's most technical and skilled fighters. But here's the twist: Crawford's most recent bout against Israel Madrimov didn't exactly leave fans in awe. While he secured the win, his performance wasn't dominant. He absorbed too many right hands and didn't appear as sharp as usual.
He just told me Crawford beats Canelo.
Hey, Crawford beats anybody he steps in the ring with.
For Canelo, there isn't much motivation to accept this fight. He's already proven himself against larger and stronger opponents, and many believe Crawford hasn't done enough to earn a shot at 168 pounds. Critics argue that if Crawford were truly serious about this fight, he would first test himself against the likes of David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev to demonstrate he can compete at the top level. Boxing fans are divided. On one hand, the idea of a battle between power and skill featuring two generational greats is exciting. On the other hand, Crawford's age, now 37, and limited experience in higher weight divisions make this bout seem like a one-sided affair.
He don't go, no one beats him. No one beats Terence Crawford.
His athleticism and defense to get out of the...
Ultimately, Canelo doesn't need this fight. His legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats is already secure, and he has a wide range of other matchups to explore. As for Crawford, if he's truly committed to stepping into the ring with Canelo, he may need to take a tougher route to prove he's worthy. While Tim Bradley continues to champion the fight, for now, it feels more like a fantasy than something within reach. Crawford has already accomplished a great deal in boxing, but beating Canelo would mark the pinnacle of his career.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man. Slow plodding forward, good jab, got good quickness, throws a lot of hooks. Crawford just get away from all of those, get underneath them, bro.
The reigning super middleweight champion has only suffered 2 defeats, once against Dimitri Bivol and once against Floyd Mayweather. It's the Bivol fight that trainer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre says he would analyze closely if a showdown between Crawford and Canelo ever becomes reality. "He made Canelo move his feet," McIntyre said. "If that fight happens, that's the one I'd study," he shared on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel when discussing Bivol versus Canelo.
This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Hey, Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
"I'd also review Mayweather versus Canelo," McIntyre noted. According to World Boxing News, WBN, Crawford's name has been circulating on a short list for Canelo's next opponent, following months of media speculation about the clash. WBN also reported that Turki Alashik may back the event as a Riyadh Season USA show potentially hosted in Las Vegas. If finalized, it would be Alashik's first high-profile event held in what boxing purists consider the sport's global capital. The Saudi chairman had prioritized Canelo versus Crawford in 2024 after partnering with Crawford for his August bout against Israel Madrimov. However, Alashik later seemed to reconsider the plan after growing frustrated with the situation.
Turki Alashik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And
I just wrapped up an important planning session with my team to map out upcoming fights for 2024 and 2025, Alshik said. I've decided to abandon the Canelo fight. I'm no longer interested. Instead, he declared a new focus on the US market, aiming to organize bigger fights there, especially for the legendary Crawford. But that stance has since shifted again, as momentum builds once more for a Canelo vs Crawford showdown. Speaking to former opponent Sean Porter, Crawford expressed disappointment with Canelo's dismissive attitude. I heard him say I'm easy work. Well, if I'm that easy, why not take the money Turkey is offering? Crawford said during an appearance on the Porter Way podcast.
Hard for boxing fans. They know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just gotta.
Yet he's demanding $200 million to fight Benavidez and $150 million for me, Crawford added. That tells me I'm a threat to him and to his legacy. Kenneth Sims Jr., a sparring partner of Crawford, spoke exclusively to World Boxing News about the matchup. Sims voiced confidence in Crawford's chances, saying, I'd love to see the fight with Canelo. I've seen Crawford sparring much bigger guys, so I believe he can pull it off.
And look, I'm 100% focused on this fight and then we'll see.
At present, Crawford appears to be the top candidate among a limited pool of names, with Christian Billy and Jermall Charlo not likely to receive the nod at this point. A rematch between Canelo and Dimitri Bivol is also still a possibility, but only if Bivol can avenge his loss to Artur Beterbiev and unify the belts at 175 pounds. Historically, Canelo has had his Cinco de Mayo plan set early. If his 2022 conqueror emerges victorious in the February 22 Beterbiev rematch, the Mexican superstar might instead pursue a revenge bout with Bivol in September. Still, recent statements by Canelo Alvarez suggest he's now open to facing Terence Crawford, reigniting excitement around what could be one of boxing's most highly anticipated matchups.
Possibly face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look,
This potential super fight would pit two elite fighters at the top of their respective games against one another. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has dominated his division with raw power and efficiency. On the other hand, Crawford, widely hailed as one of the most technically gifted fighters of this generation, uses intelligent strategy and ring IQ to break down opponents, earning his spot atop the pound-for-pound rankings. During an interview on Sway's Universe, Canelo Alvarez signaled openness to the matchup, saying, I'm in, why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, at my weight, it's an easy fight. Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. I don't like fighting guys like Crawford, he moves around a lot, and that kind of fight isn't exciting. But in his last fight, he didn't move that much. So if the money's there, I'll take it. Right now, weight classes exist for a reason, Canelo concluded.
and focus on this fight and then we'll see.
Yeah, the fight's going on as well with UFC, September 14th. How do you feel about that? Like that happened the last time you faced
Canelo's latest comments represent a notable change in tone, considering he had previously resisted the idea of facing Crawford, arguing that beating a smaller opponent wouldn't enhance his legacy. Meanwhile, Crawford remains persistent in his pursuit of the fight, even expressing willingness to jump up 2 divisions to prove himself. He acknowledges that size will be a significant factor against Canelo, but remains confident in his ability to overcome the challenge and impose his own style of boxing. Still, some analysts remain doubtful about Crawford's chances at super middleweight. Their skepticism stems partly from his most recent performance, a decision win over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, that failed to deliver the dominant showing many had anticipated.
Hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that.
Despite the reservations that exist, the potential clash between Canelo and Crawford has sparked the imagination of boxing enthusiasts. The mix of raw power, blistering speed, refined technique, and undeniable charisma from both fighters makes for what could potentially become a truly unforgettable showdown. While some see the recent press conference as a significant move toward making the fight a reality, the truth is, for now, it still feels like nothing more than a dream match. Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn, who maintains a strong professional relationship with the Mexican superstar, recently discussed his private talks with Cinnamon about this highly anticipated fight, and his outlook isn't particularly hopeful. If you recall, His Excellency Turki Alalshik was also pushing for this bout to happen during Crawford's scuffle with Israil Madrimov last year. In fact, the Saudi royal had even asked Hearn to engage with Canelo's team to facilitate the matchup. Yet, despite the enthusiasm and effort, the fight never came to fruition, and since then, the public discussion surrounding the matchup has gradually faded.
Overseas, Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, one, is Crawford ready for that fight? Two, how do you see that fight playing out? And three, is this a reality?
I'll be honest.
To firmly shut the door on hopes, Hearn appeared in an interview with Fight Hype, where he was directly asked about the fight's likelihood. "If I'm being honest, I'd be extremely surprised if that fight actually goes ahead," Hearn admitted. He explained that while His Excellency has consistently pushed for this fight, it just doesn't seem like something Canelo is genuinely interested in. Recalling his earlier conversation with Canelo, Hearn said, "Canelo's take is basically, if I beat Crawford, everyone's just going to say I beat a 154-pounder. He added that at this phase in Canelo's career, he's focused on facing fighters who press forward and engage, which is something he feels Crawford wouldn't do, making the matchup less appealing for him.
Very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight.
Significantly, Crawford is willing to climb multiple weight divisions to make this blockbuster fight a reality, a move that could place him at a notable disadvantage in the ring. Even if he manages to bulk up to 165 pounds, Canelo would still be the naturally bigger man. That means Bud would need to rely heavily on his footwork and movement to stand a chance. Hearn agrees with that logic. Crawford can't just come into this fight and go to war, he's facing a massive size gap, Hearn explained during his interview with Fight Hype. He wrapped up his thoughts by reasserting his skepticism about the bout ever happening.
I think his kind of feeling is, when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154-pounder. And he also, I think at his age as well, I don't think he wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and he wants people to come to fight.
I don't think that fight will happen, Hearn concluded. But even with such a gloomy forecast for this potential super fight, the speculation hasn't stopped. Fans and pundits continue to share predictions on who might emerge victorious if the fight were to happen. Meanwhile, someone who has shared the ring with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has voiced his perspective on why this dream fight hasn't been booked yet. Former unified super lightweight champion Amir Khan jumped 2 divisions to face Canelo in 2016 at a 155-pound catchweight. That fight ended with Canelo landing a devastating right hand in the 6th round, which knocked Khan out cold. Then in 2019, Khan took on Terence Crawford, got dropped early in the 1st round, and ultimately lost via 6th round TKO. Speaking to Boxing News, Khan stated that facing Canelo would be a serious test for Crawford.
That Crawford could beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes.
As for why the fight is yet to be finalized, Khan offered a blunt opinion. "It looks to me like Canelo is scared and just doesn't want that fight." He criticized the numerous excuses that have come from Canelo's camp. Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley, a 3-division world champion who famously defeated Manny Pacquiao, believes Crawford could beat Canelo even though he's the smaller man. According to Bradley, Canelo hasn't knocked anyone out since 2021. Fans and analysts have speculated about this dream matchup since late 2024, but nothing concrete has developed so far. Still, there's a great deal of buzz around the possibility of the reigning unified super middleweight king stepping into the ring against the light middleweight title holder.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's better.
This potential showdown would feature Crawford, an intelligent, powerful, and dynamic switch hitter, against Canelo, a relentless pressure fighter who's known for his toughness, punching power, and elite-level counter-punching defense. But regarding that famous power, Bradley insists that Canelo's knockout strength has diminished to the point that it won't be a threat to Bud, even if the latter has to move up 2 full divisions. Everyone keeps talking about the weight, like Canelo's just going to knock him out, Bradley said on his YouTube channel. But seriously, when was the last time Canelo actually knocked somebody out? Y'all can stop acting like he's going to destroy Crawford. Let's be real, didn't we just see someone like Alexander Usyk take on Tyson Fury, a guy who outweighed him by around 50 pounds?
And, you know, he's a friend of mine, but that's a dangerous fight, man. That's an extremely dangerous fight, dude. And Canelo lands a bomb, one bomb.
Bradley pointed out that Canelo and Crawford are actually the same height. Canelo isn't a natural 168-pounder either. Sure, he's a great fighter, no doubt. But so is Crawford, and elite fighters always find a way to figure things out. While it's true that Canelo's last knockout win came against Caleb Plant in November 2021 at the MGM Grand, Bradley seems to be ignoring the fact that since then, Canelo has gone on to defeat top-tier opponents such as Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder, Jermall Charlo, Jamie Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga.
On Crawford. It might not be good. It might not be good. I don't know, man. It's just a dangerous-ass fight.
Since that last stoppage win, Canelo has recorded 5 consecutive victories, all by unanimous decision and in dominant fashion, as he continues to hold on to his unified super middleweight championships. His only loss during that period came at the hands of Russia's Dmitry Bivol, during his bid for the WBA light heavyweight title. Though a fight with Canelo remains the ultimate goal for Terence Crawford, the American star still has other exciting opportunities lined up. He could either defend his current super welterweight belts or even take a leap into the middleweight division.
Crawford has the balls to be able to do what he needs to do. Crawford is a dog. I'm not gonna say a lion. He's a dog. Because them lions died out. Canelo is so predictable, dude. You know a hook is coming. You know when the right hand is coming. You know he's going down to the body. He gives it.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this fight breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to FightCore for more powerful boxing updates. Stay tuned for the next round.